Better hurry, spark it open, no worries. Harmonious gang with the big bro Yuriy, hyphy. Get lit just like me, big bossed up, chop it up with Rylee. You better come with it to kick rocks, cause you now tuned in to Tent Talks. Now let's get lifted and take a shot. You are now tuned in to Tent Talks.
Yo,
It's Tent Talks.
what's up, guys?
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday to everybody listening right now.
Happy Sunday to everyone. Hello. Thank you for joining another episode of Tent Talks. It's officially episode 100.
108.
Yes, 108.
Eight's my favorite number.
Why?
I don't know.
There's nothing to do with me in 8.
Well,
Is it?
it's funny because I'm October 28th.
Oh, yeah. I
Brittany,
forgot.
my older sister, she's November 28th. And then Roman is February 8th, which is also like February's 2 out of the months, and he's the 8th. So 2-8. So I love 8s and I love 28.
Wait, what? 2-8? What does that have to do with anything?
It's weird because I'm October 28th, Brittany's November 28th, and Roman's February 28th, but the day is 2-8.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
Hella.
My
My mom just likes to chill. So.
Either way, I don't know. The whole kid discussion. It's scary sometimes. I don't know. It's like I said, it's a big thing.
It is a big thing.
You always talk about how scared you are to even have a fucking baby.
Yes, I'm
That-
scared for that experience to
That's
birth a child.
Like as a guy, it's like, bro, like you I guess you do it. You like, squeeze the load out, and then like you get to like continue chilling,
It's like the
smoking,
whole
drinking.
time-
You don't really gotta do nothing.
The whole time, whenever, hopefully, please, Lord, that I'm ever blessed with a child, that whole time that's happening, that's all I'm going to think about is like that day, like how it's going to feel.
Oh,
What's going to happen? Like,
I saw this video on Instagram where they were like,
Brittany was like, my whole goal was like, I don't want to shit on the bed. Like, I don't want to shit. Because my mom was like, yeah, you squeeze that hard where sometimes you poop.
oh my god, I'm grabbing one.
You have one right there,
I do? Where?
right in front of you.
Where? A lighter.
Oh, a lighter. I thought you said another one. But yeah, no, that shit seems terrifying. It's literally called the Ring of Fire when the head goes through.
I don't want to. No, okay.
That
You're
shit
getting
is
too detailed.
scary.
You're getting too detailed and crazy. Okay.
Oh my
I have something I
God.
really want to talk about. This is crazy, shocking news. Wait, actually, hold on. Let's see if we could actually bring it up on screen over here so we can have more detail. Damn, I should turn the monitor as well so I can read it a little bit better. But wait, hold on.
Oh, this is your breaking news?
Yes, this is breaking news. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Stay Grounded because they were like our very first sponsor. You know what I mean? They were the very first people that fucked with us. That were trying to like fuck with Tent Talks and like basically monetarily like support us so they could shout them out and stuff like that. Like basically a sponsorship. And they were sponsoring us for a long time, and they were like just starting to grow their Instagram page. And now at this point, it's like they have a really good following. They do a really good job. Whoever runs this page. So shout out to Stay Grounded. But I'm grabbing this topic from them because I saw them post it. Basically, Funko Pop is sending $30 million worth of toys to a landfill. Basically, they're taking $30 million worth of pop figures and just throwing
That
them.
are defective?
No, they're not defective. They're just throwing away $30 million worth of toys to the landfill. But here, I'm going to read exactly why. So it says, according to Funko, a decrease in demand for their toys has created excess of inventory, and they can no longer afford the warehouse space to store the unwanted products. The cost of the extra storage required to keep them will cause the company to lose too much money. So it costs more money to store than it costs to just throw it away.
So you're saying that these are not going to be worth shit one day?
Wait.
All the shit
Hold
that
on.
we have stored.
Hold on. In short, the products they're storing are now worth less than the cost of keeping them on hand, so they are dumping them in landfills to save money. And Youainthardfoo commented on this, said where they belong. Okay, so I have something to say about this. Number one is
SMH.
I saw this happening, and like I've seen this happen. It's called like the bubble burst or the bubble popping in any market that
Literally pop.
Yeah, exactly. They used to become like super huge, like where everyone's made so many new businesses are coming in, everyone's thriving. All of a sudden, you know that in a huge thriving market, it's called like at a certain point the bubble's gonna pop, and then a lot of people are just gonna lose a bunch of money and all that stuff. And it also like the bubble's created by people making not the best business decisions. But I feel like that's where this came from, where I've never really been too into the pop vinyl thing. Like before I started collecting them, like they were out for a long time, and I was never into them because they seemed like too what's that fucking store at malls, god damn it,
what?
what's that store at malls where you buy pop figures? You know what I'm talking about. Everyone goes there. The goth store.
Hot Topic?
Hot Topic. There you go. It always gave me that.
It
always gave me that Hot Topic vibe of those like types of people where they collect all these weird little toys. I was like, yeah, I'm not into that shit. But Funko Pops eventually came out with their Pokemon line, and I've always been like heavy into Pokemon. So when I saw they came out with the Pokemon line, I was like, fire! I'm gonna collect this. Right? They came out with 3 Pokemon at first. It wasn't really hard to collect them. All I had to do was go to GameStop at like 6-7 in the morning, write my name down for this thing or whatever it was, and I was able to get my hands on them. It was really like it wasn't that hard, but like I just had to put a little bit of work. And then I was on my way to and also they're not that expensive. They're like $15, right? So I was able to, and I would always buy 2. I would always buy one to collect and one to sell in the future. So I have 2 of all the ones I've collected, and I was
extra.
I was doing that for a minute, but then it got to the point where like I started realizing like, dude, they're dropping way too many. I was like, it's like way too many to collect. And here's the thing is like, if you buy Funko Pops, you kind of want to display them, right? Dude, they're like, and you want to keep them in the package. That's the whole thing, is you don't take them out of the package. At a certain point, it takes up too much fucking real estate. Like Rylee was saying, like when we first moved in here, it makes sense to have them in the fucking room, but to have them all around the house would just be ridiculous. You know what I mean? At a certain point. And it's just like, it's like you have to sell these toys to a market where like people are buying them for their collector value, for some sort of maybe future value to sell, or just future value to collect. But people want to buy these to collect, and they want to finish their collection, and they were making it unreasonable, dude. If I were to have every single pop figure that's in the Pokemon collection, half this room would be full of shit. It's like they were doing way too much, and they I feel like they were not thinking about the customer. They really felt like, we could print 1 million of these, they're gonna keep buying them. It's like, no, bro, all of our rooms are full now. Everyone's fucking room is full. Everyone's closets are full of pop figures, and we can't even collect anymore because we have no space, and they're still trying to sell more. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like they fucked up. They should have saw this happening.
Yeah, duh. I mean, every time we go into those random stores, there's full of pop figures.
Exactly.
There's like at least 5 at the Glendale Galleria. 5 stores of
that all sell.
It's just only pop figures.
And then you go to.
I'm just like, nobody's really copying all of these. But like some of them are like hella expensive.
Exactly. But then you go to a 7-Eleven, random 7-Eleven.
Yeah, and it's like a WWE character.
Yeah, and they have like fucking random pop figures too, and you're like, bro, pop figures are there meant to be like collected, like almost like Pokemon cards. You know what I mean? And they fucking extremely decrease the value of like 90% of the pop figures, where you're like, oh, I only want these ones. But then also to get those is impossible. It's like to enter those raffles, to enter those giveaways, to enter all that it's like, bro, no.
Yeah.
They messed up, honestly. They should have seen this coming. People don't have enough space. I was on a mission to collect the Pokemon pop figure collection and the Dragon Ball Z pop figure collection. Bro, good fucking luck. And also, it's like, there's so much corruption in the pop figure game, dude, where I wanted to collect all the Dragon Ball Z pop figures, and there's one called this is about to get real nerdy, guys. There's one called like the Dragon Ball Z like Goku Rose edition, right? And it was like Funko Pop was doing
rose gold.
No, he has like rose hair. And they do this thing where the Funko Pop will collab with stores to make like a limited edition run, so that store can sell them and make some money, and then like whatever it is, make like a limited run of some certain figures,
like the Target exclusive.
Exactly. And they'll do it with like small stores too. So they did it with a company or a store in Japan, and that store in Japan, apparently all the employees there were like making it so that no one in the public could get them, and they were buying them on the side and reselling them on eBay and shit for like double the price. So like those at this point, I think the rose are like the most expensive. They're like, I don't know, I think they're like $400 or $500, maybe even like $1,000.
Oh hell no!
But like it's only that expensive because of corruption, because no one was able to get their hands on them. You know what I mean? And then, like, yeah, but also
about to pop your bubble, Funko.
And here's the thing, I read the comments on this, and I saw a couple people, and also I talked to a couple people about this, where they were saying, why did they destroy them, right? And it was like, the thing right here is like, they said they were spending more money on storing them in a warehouse than it would have cost just to, like, you know, lose the production costs or whatever, because they sell them for $15, but they probably make them for 5 pennies, you know. So like, they just had to lose a bunch of money that they put into production costs, and they were like, all right, whatever, that's worth it. $30 million apparently. But I saw people were saying, like, why didn't they send them to kids? You know what I mean? Like, why didn't they send them to, like...
Exactly. They should have sent them to fucking kids. Orphanages.
But that's the other thing, is, like, Funko Pop, I know this sounds like a little bit, like, not it doesn't sound like I care to say this, but, like, no, I do care, but they're a business that's there to make money, right? They're already taking a huge $30 million L.
Matter, dude. Have a heart.
I know, but hold on. They're taking a huge $30 million L.
So you'd rather burn your shit.
Let me finish. Let me land. They're taking a huge $30 million L, but to get the pop figures from their warehouse to a kid's hands costs money. So they're gonna have to spend another $1 million to $5 million on shipping.
They don't have to express ship that shit. It can get
It's
there when it gets there.
It's $30 million.
There's places out here that could take it, where they don't even have to.
I'm sure it was just too, or it could have been a thing like.
Oh my god! I don't even want to hear that. That's so stupid.
Babe, I'm telling you,
they'd rather burn it.
Well, yeah, basically. It could be a thing like designer brands do, which is they burn their shit so their value stays high, which they're probably maybe worried about that. Or it literally could be it's $30 million.
Your shit's trash already. You're burning your shit.
I know.
30 million worth.
But I'm telling you, it's 30 million. Who knows where their warehouse is?
The kids that want it.
How are you going to get it to the kids? They have to spend more of their money. They have to spend. They're like, oh, we're basically just giving out like $40 million right now.
There's things called volunteers. They could literally transport it to their nearest thing.
I'm sure it wasn't that simple. I'm not trying to just defend Funko Pop, but like I just feel like it sounds so unreasonable or like unlogical. Not unlogical, but like unrealistic for them to be like, oh, we're gonna spend another $5 million on shipping when we just lost 30M on this.
Sell it to Ross. That will sell it for $2.
Probably Ross wasn't even buying it at this point.
That's crazy. I don't know.
But at this point, I have a whole Funko Pop collection. And I think that something like this is actually good for the overall value of Funko Pops. Because it's gonna take another 10, 20 years, I feel like, until all the other ones are destroyed and fucked up and opened, until I can finally be like, ah, yes, this is Bulbasaur. I bought it for $30. Now it's worth $300 in 20 years, hopefully. I don't know. But I want to display them, honestly. I don't even want to keep them in the boxes. But you said it looks crazy. Well, also we don't have space.
Yeah, we definitely don't have space.
I was kind of a little bit inspired by the Biggest Bros background, where I kind of like, I don't know if I want to go away from the green screen, because it's like I have so many things that I can display that would honestly save us so much space if I just had it against the wall or on shelves behind us. It would look cool. It would save us space just to have it displayed, and it would, like, you know, add some, you know, it would just make the podcast look differently, I guess. But I don't know, I feel like we already use the green screen for so much things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do.
I mean, we don't know if we're gonna be here.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. When is it, June or July?
July.
Dude, we have to start looking at apartments now, basically.
Nah.
I
have been looking, but
either way,
Anywho's,
yeah. We talked about this, how we might end up moving out.
You had an eventful week.
Oh yeah, I know. I got in a fight with all my friends. And loved ones.
Shut up.
Everyone was getting Nicki Minaj's back.
Hell no, I was
Barbz
not.
Is back.
That's the annoying part. You're trying to say that I was trying to take Nicki's back, where it's not that. I literally said that I had your back the whole time. I was like, I agree with you. I think they were tripping 100%. And I was just like, just let it be, because they're going to not stop because you keep interacting with them.
Flakko.
Exactly what you say to me all the time.
Flakko, I know, but in this case,
and that's why I was like, okay, maybe you need to hear it from me, where it's like,
no, but I tell you that
you're getting a little worked up. I understand why you are, because they're tripping and they're being super crazy,
Well, okay. Here, when I tell you that, it's because I'm like, you're telling me like, oh, I don't want to be affected by negative comments, or whatever. And I'm telling you like, oh, just ignore it, right? But for me, it's like, dude, I can deal with it. I don't care what they're going to say. And I was kind of
tripping about them talking to me negatively.
I know.
I don't care about that.
I know, but I'm not talking about them in that situation. In this situation, but I'm saying like I was kind of infected with Flakko's philosophy, which is like, bro, like they're literally going to forget about this in a week or two and like just and talk about something else that happened. He's like, just use this as an opportunity just to like continue trolling them, and they're just going to continue commenting, liking, and and following. And that's the other funny thing.
But also Flakko likes, I mean, it's just like, dude, do you want to be the person that only has negative attention?
No.
Do you want to be that person? Because like that's what Flakko likes to do. He likes to like,
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, I'm not trying
ruffle feathers, and it's just like it works for him, but it's like, do you want that for yourself?
No, I don't, but I was put in a unique position where I didn't ask for this. I was attacked out of nowhere for no reason.
I get that.
And then I have this thing where I was just like,
you need to have your own bag.
Oh, okay, like how can I? And they kept using this thing. All the Barbs were like, attack us, don't attack her, attack us. It's like, I don't know who you guys are. And also another thing is, dude, more than like 25% of the accounts I was looking at, or at least more than half the accounts I was looking at personally, were all no avatar, no post, no nothing. They were just like troll accounts, right? So I was just
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, dude, I'm not, there's no way I could attack you guys personally. I'm gonna continue to just attack the person that you guys love and adore so much.
But that's what I'm saying. Out of all people who knows that they're just trying to fuck with you on that level to like get a reaction, it's the most.
I know,
but how to deal with that shit.
But here's the thing is like, I'm taking advantage of it for the views and the clicks, and people are saying like, oh, you're doing it for clout or whatever it is. It's like no, I didn't do nothing.
No,
You guys attacked me. You guys started like doing all this shit to me. If you guys are gonna continue coming, like they're liking my photos, they're following me on. As soon as I unprivated my Instagram, I gained like 100, 200 Instagram followers, and it's just like, bro, why are you guys following me if you hate me? You know what I mean? Like it's so fucking funny, but it's like Flakko was saying, it's like, bro, the only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna get more likes, more comments, more followers, more subs, and that's it. He's like they're gonna forget about you in 2 weeks regardless. You might as well just juice the situation and like for everything it's worth. And it's pretty funny. And I still have, it's funny, I still have a couple Barbs DMing me like going like, LOL, like now that the clout's gone, what are you gonna do now? Now that all the Barbs are like have don't care about you, like you have nothing to talk about anymore. I'm like, bruh, I was like chilling before you guys entered my life.
Nothing to do with me.
I was enjoying my life peacefully before you guys even entered it. So I'm cooling right now. But at this point, it's water under the bridge, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if I saw Nikki at a party, it'd probably be.
It's up.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No. She would have 8 security guards fucking twist me into a knot before I could do. I wouldn't. No, bro. I'm not gonna. I don't have any beef with Nicki Minaj. She's actually. I like her music. Here's the thing: is like I just like. They're attacking me, so I'm gonna troll them back by attacking her.
They didn't even watch the news. I don't think. I think they watched that little clip and everything was out of context.
No, they're going through everything with the fine-tooth comb. They were.
Well, that's stupid because if you watch the whole thing, then you could just realize.
Well, I have to be fair because I rewatched it a couple times. I do sound like I am hating. I do sound like, oh yeah, this lady, fuck her, like whatever, bitter, this, blah blah, whatever. Like I did sound like a little bit
even if you were hating or like you weren't a Nicki Minaj fan. They have to realize that not everybody's going to be a Nicki Minaj fan.
That was my argument. And then also...
And it's just like, you guys are on a platform. Some people can have different opinions on what the music they like.
Exactly. And that's common sense. And here's the thing that I brought up.
That's unfair to you.
I feel like this is a good argument, which is like if any YouTubers or Twitch streamers do that, they get in trouble very quickly. If not, they get banned by the platform. You cannot send your audience to attack people.
Right.
Anytime someone makes videos like Moist Critical or whatever it is, like even Sloan when he's making the video about Justin Bieber's wife, he's like, please don't attack her. Yeah. They have to say these things because you can get in trouble. You can get kicked off the platform for sending your audience to attack people. Everyone knows that Nicki Minaj is like, she retweeted that shit. Nicki Minaj is like, there's many other examples of her like basically pushing and cultivating this toxic ass audience that just attacks people for even having like a slightly different opinion. It's like, how the fuck is Nicki Minaj still getting away with it? Like, I guess people there's nothing you could do about it. You could just call her out for it, but like more people should know that what the fuck she's doing is not right. Like, that's not a good what's it called, etiquette for a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me just weaponize my fucking fan base against random people that like are not even close to my success stature or to my wealth or whatever it is. Let me just attack people. Not only that, but she's a successful person that's probably going to be rich until she dies, and her family's going to have money and all that stuff. But there's been many examples of her attacking people who are average income people, and she's like trying to ruin her audience is trying to ruin their lives. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? They're trying to like ruin the lives of hardworking, honest people, and like protect this lady whose brother and husband are a little bit sus. It's like, you can't blame people for what their brothers do, but it's like you shouldn't be paying for his wedding. I don't know.
Well, it's also like they're a huge celebrity, and you have to understand everybody's gonna have their different opinions.
Exactly. On you. Whatever. I'm over it. At this point, I'm over talking about it. But here's something I really want to talk about. Because Flakko, I don't think I was there during the news stream, but I think I was listening. Where he was talking about like gangs in America, right? And Flakko was saying where he was like, there ain't no real, I'm quoting Flakko here, and Flakko was like, oh, there ain't no real gangsters in America. He's like, the real gangsters? He's like, they're in Mexico. He's like, in Mexico, the cartel's son got caught. The whole cartel came through with guns. They burned down the roads. They like basically formed the whole militia to get this fool out. And they're like, nope, he's not going to jail. We got him out. And he's like, that's some real gang shit. He's like, you don't see any people out here like going against the police or doing some militia shit like that. And I think I was just listening on the news, so I couldn't like really give my opinion. But as soon as I heard that, my immediate thought was like, dude, you can't compare Mexico's army force to America's. Like, America was like, right now it's debatable where it's even number one at this point because Russia and China are basically uniting. But America for the longest time was number one in the world because of our military. You know what I mean? Our military is the strongest in the world. And if we have like 200, 300 people here in LA who like get a bunch of guns and a bunch of people together and like start killing officers and all that stuff, guess what? We're gonna have tanks and fucking Apache helicopters flying over here and like shooting missiles. It's gonna be done within a week. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you can't attack the military. No one has money like the American military. We like spend most of our tax dollars and all that shit, that it all goes towards like funding all that stuff. And I was like, so I couldn't really give that opinion of like, that's why you don't see that shit out here. They do it out there because it's like, they do have a military, but it ain't like the way we have it out here. They're not as scared of the government as they are, as we are out here. And the whole reason why I'm bringing all this stuff up is, did you see this whole thing about the 4 Americans who were like kidnapped in Mexico?
I did see this, but I didn't like read too much into it. Okay. I saw the headline though.
Yeah, so basically 4 Americans or 4 U.S. citizens went to Mexico, and it was like, I think it's, I'm not sure if it's proven or not, but like apparently it was like 3 guys and a lady, and the lady was going there for some sort of like surgery, like a BBL they were assuming or something like that. But they're like, I saw it was like something about she went there for some sort of surgery, and these 3 guys went to go back her up, and they were kidnapped by a Mexican cartel, and 2 of them were killed, and 2 of them have survived. And I think the girl and one of the guys survived, basically. And
the people who came from America.
Yeah, the 2 4 out of the 4 U.S. citizens kidnapped, 2 of them were killed, and 2 of them survived the incident. And like something, I don't know how they escaped or whatever it is, but that's not really what matters here.
Right.
Basically, 2 of them were killed, and 2 of them survived the whole situation. And then later on, immediately as soon as this happened, bro, it is a big deal. Like, the cartel does not want to fuck with U.S. citizens. You know what I mean? Like, that's the last thing they want to do. They want to make their money out there. They have their little businesses and organizations that they do out there. They don't want to fuck with U.S. citizens because they know it's going to bring American attention of like, oh, now like they're gonna bring in their enforcement and their FBI agents and all that stuff. It's like the last thing they want to do is.
But they will kidnap and like.
Yeah, there are
there is people a lot like that.
No, there for sure are examples of that, but like
that's why it's like
I've also heard that they try to avoid it because it's like.
Yeah, for the most part, safe because like
They don't want to.
they've been saying Mexico's hella dangerous forever, right?
Yeah.
Like forever. And I've been a couple of times where they've said that, and I feel completely safe. But it's just like, I mean, if you're a drunk girl and you're not with your family, I could see where that could get sketchy.
You don't know where you are and shit like that.
Because I'm always with my family and like
Yeah.
we're chilling together. We're going like to the markets
The
and
vibe is
stuff.
different.
Yeah, we're not going to the club and stuff where I know like a lot of young people are.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like if you're just with your girls and stuff, or like even if you're with like a couple guys, like it's just like that could definitely get sketch. You could get robbed. And
but also like we were talking about this last time when I told you like I've heard that if you go to Mexico just trying to have a good time and like you're gonna be fine, but if you go to Mexico trying to like
flex,
buy coke, buy some drugs,
Yeah.
like and like you're hiding the chances of, because you're now interacting possibly with the cartel, you're just hiding the chances of you getting into some weird situation.
Definitely, yeah.
by doing
Never
stuff like
buy
that.
shit out there.
But this is not the end to the story. So as soon as I saw the situation, that was my thought. It was like, I feel like the cartel probably doesn't really agree with these fools' like mistake here. They're probably like upset about it, right? And then so there's this other update where apparently the cartel tied up the 5 guys who actually committed this kidnapping. They tied them up and they left them in front of like some locations for the police to pick them up or whatever it is, and they left them with a note that said these are the 5 guys who kidnapped and murdered the 2 people or whatever it is. And it was kind of a thing where you could tell the cartel was like, these guys fucked up, we don't agree with them, like here you go, you know what I mean, like get them in trouble or whatever it is. And that whole situation unfolded. RIP and also condolences to the family, because that's so fucked up to like beans, and to like go on basically what should be a fun vacation and deal with some crazy situation like that. But ever since this whole situation unfolded, apparently there's this other article, as I think the final update, it says I can't read who retweeted this.
Oh, no.
Midas Touch. It says the Republican Party now wants to go to war with Mexico. Truly deranged and dangerous stuff. And it says Graham says he introduced a bill to set the stage for U.S. to use military force in Mexico. And apparently they're already planning on stationing the military troops in Mexico or whatever it is for some reason. I don't know. But
that's not good.
I think honestly it could be like a good thing, because it's like, it's kind of crazy that we all know about the crazy corrupt, but also it's not our right to go into other countries and try to fix their mess, because we have a lot of shit going on over here. But like
how you're saying we don't know much about the cartel and how they interwork in their own country and cities and stuff like that. Like if we're infiltrating their country, they're not gonna fuck with the Americans more. Like,
oh, you can't go visit at all.
They're gonna be like, they're gonna have hella hate against us probably.
No,
where
facts.
It's like they're gonna just be hella exposed and stuff, where it could get really bad.
But also, I've heard that there's like a lot of citizens of Mexico who 100% don't agree with what the cartel is doing, but they just live under their fucking thumb because they
Nobody
have to,
does.
right? But if you like send a bunch of military in and like basically don't let them operate the way they usually operate, and you like shut down the whole operation, it's like people are gonna be like, oh, okay, fire. Cartel's not working here anymore. We could actually work normal jobs and not be, exploited and like, fucking threatened for money and like have to give some sort of gang tax and all this shit.
I mean, unless they're working together, Mexico and the U.S.
But Mexico's
But if it's
corrupt.
U.S. against Mexico, then it's gonna be like, dude, that's not gonna be good.
I mean, anytime I think about the Mexican government, I think about the Russian government, where I'm like, bro, it's so corrupt like there's. You'd have to take everyone in power out, everyone in power out, like, and then completely replace everyone, which is like, that's impossible. You're never gonna do that. I don't know. Crazy situation. But I don't know if I want to go to Mexico anymore. Now I'm worried.
It's definitely gonna be sketch right now.
Yeah, I don't know, but dude, I feel bad for those people.
So this weekend, Yuriy and I had a Harry Potter marathon.
Oh, yes.
Because Yuriy wanted to get more into the lore. But every night we watched a new movie, I fell asleep like within an hour.
Bro, I'm getting so tired of it because it's like Rylee just does this thing where she's like, I just want to lay down. I'm like, okay, like I already know where this is going. And then you lay down, and then like you do this thing where like I turn around, your eyes are closed, and then I tell you like, hey, like you're going to sleep. Should I just pause the movie? I'm not like mad or upset. I'm just like, yo, like should I pause the movie? Like, you know, you're falling asleep. You're like, no, I'm not falling asleep. I'm just resting my eyes. Like let it play. And I'm just like, okay, all right, let it play. And then this literally happened last night where like I told you that a couple times. I'm like, all right, and then fucking I turn around, you're just snoring. I was like, bruh. But honestly,
so what are your thoughts on the movie? Movies.
I really like them, dude. Okay, so Hogwarts Legacy has re-inspired Rylee and I to dive back into the whole Harry Potter series, and it's really cool. But also, one thing for sure is like there's this dude I found on YouTube called Movie Flame, and bro, at this point I'm not gonna read the Harry Potter books, but he's not reading the books, but he does these videos where it's like movie compared to the books, like what are the differences. And every time Rylee and I finish watching a movie, I'll watch one of his videos where he like talks about the differences. And honestly, it's pretty crazy where, like, dude, when you're watching this movie, if you watch those movies without reading the books, you're probably going to be so confused because, like, a lot of the scenes where, like, I guess maybe I would not have even questioned it if, like, he didn't bring it up, but a lot of the scenes, like, he brings up where he's like, this happens, then this happens, and he's like, they don't even explain how the hell he got that thing, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, bro, you're right. I'm like, I just assumed he just got it out of nowhere, but I guess in the book it goes into further detail, but you can't include all the details from the book into the thing.
Right.
But the number one difference I've noticed is like, bro, the new Dumbledore that they had, like apparently the first movie, the Sorcerer.
I think it's the first 3.
No, it's just the first one.
No, and it's the second 2 for sure. The first 2.
No, hold on, what are you talking about?
The Dumbledore?
The OG is just the first one.
No, it's both.
No,
it's 2.
No,
the first 2.
No
way.
Yeah, I told you this literally.
No, you said it was the first 2.
No, I said it's just the first one.
No, he was still good on the second one.
It's a different guy though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Let me look this up really quick.
The OG Dumbledore passed away after the first movie.
No, dude.
He did, dude. Look it up.
Oh my god.
Bruh, you literally looked it up the other day when we talked about this, and you're like, okay, you were right, and we're like doing the same thing again.
Richard Harris.
Let's see. Riley's looking it up right now on her phone.
Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, he did the first 2.
First
he did the first 2.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's why the first 2 are the best.
Okay, maybe you're right. But I've noticed. Okay, we watched the past 4 movie or the first 4 movies, and we just saw the Goblet of Fire. And bro, like the new Dumbledore sucks ass, bro. Like there's like
he's horrible.
He's so bad.
He's like so not into the character. You could tell. Like he's so theatrical. He doesn't want to have that like relationship. Like the first 2 movies, Dumbledore is like so calming, so wise, like literally feels like the best wizard alive. He gives that vibe where it's like you trust him with everything.
Yeah.
And then this fool comes in randomly and he's just hella aggressive, and it's just like, dude, like you're not giving Dumbledore energy.
I know. This is probably a conversation that's been had such a long time ago. We're
so
hella old on it.
Well, now that we're older, we could realize it, because I never even knew that.
Bro, me neither. But like now
that
it's not even just we realize it, then we watch it. But as we're watching, we're like,
I'm
bro,
just
like this
God,
is
he's
off.
trash.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but the movies overall still having a good time watching them. I shout out to Movie Flame because he gives a really better in-depth experience after I watch the movie than I see the compared to the books thing. It's almost like reading the book, you know, with hella visuals. I really like his videos.
Yeah, the movies are so good though. It really makes you. I literally started tearing up yesterday.
No, you cried today when the dude died. In Goblet of Fire, one of the kids dies, and Rylee just like, and I was like, we're eating breakfast or something, and I was like, really, babe? I was like, dude, you're crying already? I was like, it's fucking breakfast.
No, I was just like, it brings me back to my childhood.
I know, I feel you there.
It really like feels like you're a kid again, and it's like, damn, like all these years have gone by since this movie came out, and like you first watched it and had that first experience with it.
No, for real.
And now it's like, damn, it's like over 20 years. That's crazy.
Bean's just like deep deep licked my toes.
Deep throated your toe?
No, not deep throat. Just like licked
That's
in between my
gross.
toes and shit right now. He just like, I don't know why. What, you have to go use the bathroom? Really? Oh my god. Already? Okay, so while while Wiley's using the bathroom, I want to talk about the P.O. box, guys. Usually every Sunday, Rylee and I open up all the things we get from the P.O. box. And if anyone's wondering what the address is, it's in the description. But I completely forgot to go on Friday because it actually was like raining all day on Friday. And I ended up doing the Hogwarts Legacy stream, and I just forgot to go. But apologies to anyone that potentially did send us stuff. Next week we will be opening them up. And then also, yeah, the P.O. box address is P.O. Box 3183 North Hollywood 91609. While Riley's away, let's open up the chat and see what you guys are saying. Nope, that's not true, Edwin. What the hell, man? Krylie back at it? No, for real. Yo, what the hell, dude? That's definitely not true. If I was in California, I'd run to the bank tomorrow after that bank collapse. You don't know if the deposits are insured. California is a dumpster fire right now. California's always been a dumpster fire. It definitely is like a crazy one right now for sure, though. Talk about the membership stream. Where it at? Okay, so as for the member stream, we said that we would potentially do it throughout the week, and then if not, we would do it on Saturday. The whole week was ended up just being, and I want to do it Rylee, obviously, we want to do it together. The whole week ended up just being hella busy, and then Saturday came around, and Rylee was just like, dude, like, I'm super tired, I want to chill that day. And then also, I was just like hella, just tired and stuff like that too. But then also, like, bro, I hate continuing to talk about this, but bro, the back pain has been getting insane recently. Like, the past couple days, it's been fucking crazy, bro. It started on Thursday from Reconnected, or during Reconnected, but like, ask Rylee, like, last night I could not go to sleep the whole night, dude. The whole night I just kept tossing and turning, or I had to sleep like a board, like flat like that, and it still just hurt.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bro, I don't know what the fuck to do. And people just keep telling me, like, oh, go to the hospital,
That's what I said. I was like, do you want me to take you to the ER right now? Like, what can we do? Because I was like, do you want me to massage it? What do you want? He's like, no. You have to get it checked, dude.
It was just hurting
At this point,
so
now
bad.
You have to get it checked.
I'm scared.
Why?
Because I don't have health insurance.
It's okay.
It's going to be expensive.
It's okay.
And then also, they're
don't worry about that.
They're going to be like, oh, that's it. We need to replace half your body.
You can't worry about that.
We have to.
We're going to do it.
We have to cut you from the waist down and give you these robot legs.
Can you stop?
No, I'm joking. I know. I don't know what to do at this point. Because I stretch. People keep telling me, like, stretch, Yuriy. Like, dude, stretching, like, it's like a part of my daily routine. I, like, spend 10 to 15 minutes stretching every single day. And I stretch, like, my whole body. Pause. But, Riley's telling me I should do yoga.
You don't stretch your hamstrings, though. You only stretch your upper back.
No.
Yeah.
I always stretch my legs in many different ways. Pause. I always do.
But not in the good way that stretches your back as well.
I don't know. I was thinking about finding some people to do a private yoga class with.
Thanks.
What do you mean thanks?
I would love that. You don't.
You're acting like you're not gonna be there.
You're not inviting me.
I need to invite you?
Yeah, you never brought this up to me.
Well, I just thought about it the other day where, like, Chris said that we could do a stream in his backyard, right? What if instead of I take a yoga class, what if I hit up a yoga instructor to come and we all took a yoga class together?
I don't even think his backyard's that big enough.
Oh, really?
For us to all
Well, we could just take a private yoga class, right? Where, like, they already have a location.
But you can't be loud and extra in there. That's the thing.
Even if it's a private class? I would want to do a hot yoga stream, but then also you said my phone is probably going to just get hella foggy and all that stuff. But that'll be interesting. See how long we could last in there. You don't think we could do yoga in his backyard?
No.
We won't all do it next to each other. It'll be like random spots. Maybe one person will be in the living room. Too random.
Maybe you can just do it.
Oh my god!
One session.
It's not the perfect setup, so you can't do the yoga with us.
I don't like talking about stream ideas on.
Why?
Because
Someone's gonna steal them.
No. We just should talk about them by ourselves.
Oh my God.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
All right. Here's an interesting topic I want to talk about. This is something that's been a hot topic for a while now, and I'm not sure how many other organizations had made this, distinct rule as well. But it looks like, guys, the USA powerlifting must allow trans athletes to compete with women after losing a lawsuit. So apparently, a trans woman had tried to compete, I think in 2019. They didn't allow her. She sued them, and then now they're forced, by law to allow trans athletes. I think that's insane, dude, because it's like, I feel like so many people have this same fucking opinion about the situation, which is like, bro, think about the women out there that are actually, spending their whole lives trying to be a power lifter. And then you bring in this person who's just spent the last 20 or 24 years of his life, or her life being a dude, transitions. Now they're women. They have 20 years of fucking being a man. That, like, there's a thing called old man strength, and it's, that's there for a reason. It's like you just
Old man strength?
Yes, it's like when you're like a dad or whatever, like you just have this crazy power to you out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like I feel like this is unfair to the women that are in this in that division. They're gonna be outcompeted. They're gonna have to compete in another state for a fair competition. That's not fair. You don't think so?
I think it's unfair too.
I don't know. I think it's crazy unfair. At certain points, like I feel like all the.
I mean, you've talked about this kind of subject a lot.
This just came out, I guess, like a day ago or some shit like that. But I'm just wondering, like, how the women in that division or like in that area that want to compete, how they're gonna feel about this. Are they gonna be like, damn, bruh, now I got no chance. It's over. When you go to a gym, like. And you see, like, guys, or like on Instagram, you see those guys just lifting those crazy huge dumbbells that, like, not dumbbells, but those huge bars that have like fucking 5 plates on each side. I don't see that. But okay, I've seen on Instagram before where like these dudes are just like lifting these crazy giant bars with these fucking giant, plates on them. I've never seen a girl lift a fucking giant thing with like 50, like 5 plates on each side on them.
There's some strong girls.
There definitely is. You're right.
Look at Christian Rock.
Yeah.
She lifted like 400 pounds or something like that.
I know, but if she has to compete against Jason Momoa with a wig on, like...
Okay, that's different.
It's over.
That's hella different.
Either way, yeah, that was all I had to say about that topic. I think it's kind of unfair for the women in that division, like I said. It's going to be hella unfair.
So, Yuri and I's anniversary is the day before Valentine's Day.
Okay.
February 13th. And today I saw that a potential meteor might hit Earth on Valentine's Day 2046. What the fuck?
They always do. There's been
What if that happens, babe? We just celebrate. How many years would that be? 25?
Jeez.
26 years?
It'll be time to go at that point.
We're like...
I'm joking. No.
Cheers.
But, dude, there's been, like... If you just search up, like, the history of asteroid hitting the Earth predictions, there's been so many. It's just the thing that happens every 5-10 years. They're like, oh, we haven't used this article in a while. Hey, these asteroids might hit at some points. Like, I don't think it's going to happen. And then also, what's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson, what's that astronomer's name? I think that was his name. He went on Joe Rogan and he was talking about this, where I forgot what word he used. I wish I could remember, but he basically said that, like, so many people think that they're gonna live in a time of a catastrophe, like a fucking asteroid hitting, but he's like, bro, the chances of you living in a time where an asteroid hits the Earth is the same thing as you, like, the odds of you going to a liquor store and winning the lottery 10 times in a row are higher. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. He's like, the chances are so small of you living in that time period. You know what I mean? He's like, people have been living for a long ass time now, and like, it happens so rarely. And like, for you to just believe that, like, oh, in my 50 to 70, in my 70 to 100 year span that humans normally live, I will see a catastrophe that 99%
That's not
people
fair
never
though,
see.
because shit happens.
Yeah, I guess shit happens, but He was literally saying like he's like statistically he's like you're more likely to win the lottery 10 times in a row.
But I do remember when it was 2012 and everybody thought it was gonna be the end of the year or the world or whatever. I was with my friend Nadia and we like went to the park and we're like sitting out at the park like just waiting. And we're like, bye. Nothing happened.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was 2012.
But we went to the park just to chill there and like we just waited.
I remember
seeing if anything was gonna happen.
Before that, it was the year 2000, and like I don't remember that being a big deal, but like I've seen.
Because you were a baby.
I was like.
You were 6.
I was 6, yeah. So like I've seen content about it, videos about it, but like, you know, that was a whole thing at that time. But then also I remember in 2006, it was 666 at one point. And I remember I was in school on that day, 666, and it was like a big deal. Everyone was like talking about it. They're like, it's 666, like all that shit. Like, and everyone really was saying like that, you know, some crazy shit was gonna happen that day too, and nothing ended up happening.
Yeah.
We're never gonna see another.
I
666.
remember when I was in high school, I was part of like the leadership class, which was like ASB, like student government kind of thing. And at the end, like during spring break, we take a trip to Disneyland where we take a bus down to LA and we're here for the whole week, and we do 3 days in Disneyland, a day at Universal, a day at Huntington Beach, and then we went to like a high school one day too.
That's hella shit.
Yeah, we did it like a whole week trip to like celebrate like all the hard work we did or whatever.
Okay.
And fuck, where was I going with this story?
I don't know.
God.
Something about you going a whole trip with your.
Oh my god.
I have no idea.
What were we just talking about?
I was talking about 666.
Oh yes, okay. So in the bus, they were playing movies the whole time we were like driving down because it's like a 6-hour drive or whatever. And the movie 2012 was playing, and I remember I fell asleep to that movie, and I had the craziest dream about the world ending, and it felt hella real, and it was like one of those dreams where you woke up like like you can't like catch your breath, and I was just like, I'm on a bus with like hella people, like oh my god, that dream felt so real. That's funny. But I do feel like if you fall asleep to like something, like it affects like what you're dreaming about. Dude, for sure.
I was gonna say
you
just reminded me last night when I was trying to go to sleep, like there was a couple moments where I did, you know, like fall asleep for you know, a little bit, and I kept having dreams that I was like a student in Hogwarts. I kept having dreams. Oh, that's
a dope dream, though.
I kept having dreams that was just like, I don't know what, I can't remember what I had to do, but like it was something about me being a student in Hogwarts.
That's a fun dream.
And then like once, like, dude, like I'm not even joking, guys. Like at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, like I could not go back to sleep. My back was just hurting so bad. And I just like I don't know. I usually my back will hurt. And I'm just like, fuck, this hurts. And then I go to sleep, I wake up, it's fine. And I was just lying there for so long. It was just like an agonizing pain. And at that point, I was thinking, I was like, damn. It
was like 7:30. He's like, you drank all the water. Can't believe. I was like, it was one sip. He's like, I know, but I'm thirsty. And I was like, I'm thirsty too. Bro, and I was like, fuck it, I'll get up. And I just got up for the day. And I was just like, I'm going to get us water because I was dehydrated
I'm glad you bring this up because I was having this like debate in my head. Right? Where, guys, right now, we need to replace our refrigerator filter, which we need to do. It's really not that hard to do. It's really not. We've just been so lazy. While our refrigerator filter is not, replaced, it's like it runs so slowly, bro. It takes so long to fill. It'll take you literally like 2 minutes to fill up a fucking cup of water that size. And so at this point, we're just buying gallons of water, right? And just like pouring the gallons of water. And every time, you know, we buy like 2 gallons, bro, 2 or 3 gallons. And I'm not even joking, dude. I get like 1 or 2 cups out of it. And then by the time I'm like going like to grab another cup, both the gallons are gone. All 3 gallons are gone. All 4 gallons are gone. I'm like, bro, now I have to go to the refrigerator, take hella long to pour this thing up. And I'm like, no, like I'm too lazy to do that. So I'm just going to drink the fucking whatever else I have, like, you know, in the fridge is probably not as healthy as just drinking regular water. And then Rylee complains to me going, you should just drink water. It's like, bro, you're drinking all the water.
No, and I was like, you should drink the water when it's there.
No. So let me
you're choosing the sugary ass drinks.
So let me get to my debate though, or my question. Where earlier today I was thinking debate. I was like, dude, should I just like buy the regular 2 gallons of water I always buy, and then buy a separate and be like, babe, this is mine, do not touch? because you always do this thing where like you're too lazy to fill up your cup of water and you keep filling them up.
Fuck no, it's our water.
And you'll kill the gallons. I'm like, bro, should I
give you my water. I give you some from mine.
Bro, but
technically,
you always
the one that I start.
But I'm still gonna get the same amount of water, but I'm gonna buy a separate one just for me to chill on, because I don't drink water as fast as you.
Dude,
is that fucked up to get a separate gallon?
You choose to drink 5 Gatorades over a cup of water. I'm choosing to drink several cups of water. We have the water right there. Drink the water. So you choose Gatorade and the probiotic smoothie. And I'm just like, you're choosing the sugar.
So it's fucked up if I get my own separate gallon?
Get your own gallon. Write your name on it.
I will.
Okay. I'll get my own too.
No,
we're roommates.
Oh my god, I can't get my own gallon of water, dude. I can't just
get it. I'm gonna get my own.
No, I'll get you a gallon of water, but I can't. No, I can't have my own.
I don't want. I'll get my own.
I can't have my own exclusive gallon of water. That's weird.
Okay.
It's a big deal for that?
No.
Actually, you know what the secret is? Is I need to wash my gallon jug and fill that thing up, because you refuse to drink out of that after I drink out of it.
That is true. Because it's a sippy straw.
At that point,
you suckle on.
Shut the fuck up. You suckle on yours.
Yeah, and you probably don't want to drink out of this. It has nothing.
Yeah, there's no water in there. No, yeah.
I need water.
Yeah, speaking of which, yeah, it's gonna take forever to fill that thing up. Either way, we need to replace our refrigerator filter, and I need to buy a separate gallon.
Speaking of the refrigerator, did you see that they're selling ranch ice cream now?
I know, it's at it's at Walmart.
You should try it for a stream.
No, we should try it for a stream.
I'm not trying it.
You love ranch, and it's big. It's literally.
I don't want ranch ice cream.
There's 2 things that Rylee loves.
I love ranch, but I don't
want
ranch
that ice
and
cream, you love ice cream. Those are the 2 things you love together.
No. I don't want them together. But I went, okay, so there was like this ice cream shop by my house growing up. It's called John's Dollar Scoop, and now it's like John's $2 Scoop. Like, it went fucking up. But they had it was all like homemade or like handmade ice cream and stuff in there. And one of their flavors was ube. And like, I'm from like the little Farmville. Like, we don't have like that much exotic shit out there. And so it was like this bright ass purple ice cream. And I was like, what's this? Can I like try it? And they're like, the person's like, it tastes like whatchamacallit, buttered popcorn, but it's a Japanese sweet potato. Like, that's technically what it is, and that's why it's purple like that.
Oh.
And I tasted it, and it literally tasted like buttered popcorn, like the jelly bean from the Harry Potter jelly beans or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I liked it. It was a weird kind of ice cream, like buttered popcorn ice cream.
What does that have to do with the ranch ice cream?
Because I'm saying that it's like a savory ice cream, but it ended up being good.
So why won't you try this one?
Because it's too much.
No, you should try it.
Like, I don't want garlic and dill ice cream. Buttered popcorn, it's like you can make that kind of sweet.
You know they did some sort of mix to it where it doesn't taste exactly like ranch, you know? But I wonder if this ranch will be good.
It's not. It's gonna be ranch.
Wait, hold on, babe. You know how some people will take their fries and dip it in their milkshakes?
Oh.
Fries and the ranch ice cream?
No, it's not hitting.
Hey, speaking of weird,
they're gonna give ranch Frosties out now.
I know, right? Speaking of weird exotic snacks, the other day, did we talk about this yet? I don't think we did, right?
What?
The crazy yogurt.
No. Oh my god.
The other day, there's a Russian store near us, and the other day Rylee and I went in the Russian store, and we were like trying to find a couple items and all that stuff, and then we went to the counter to purchase our shit, and then this dude who's like running the front of the register, he was just like, hey, how's it going? I was like, whatever. I think I was on my phone, so Rylee was like taking care of the transaction, and then he like tells her like, hey, like, you want some crazy yogurt?
Yeah, he's like, you want to try some crazy yogurt? I was like,
I
was like, what? I was like, looked at Yuriy and I was like, oh god, we've been watching hella food videos, and I was like, Yuriy probably wants me to do this right now.
And
I was like, are you gonna take some?
But this dude was like, like a elderly Russian man who's probably like 45 or 50.
Crazy yogurt.
And he just like was like, you want some? And he doesn't like I said, I'm like a couple feet away on my phone, and he's talking to Rylee, and he's like, you want some crazy yogurt?
I was like, what?
I was like, what is that? Fucking roofie yogurt, dude? Like,
It looked good though. It looked like it had like cake chunks and it was like strawberry or whatever. And so I was like, are we doing this? Like, I'm fucking scared. I was like, it might be sitting all day, like warm ass.
It kind of looked like it was like sitting right there on the side of the counter. At first, he like grabbed the fork and grabbed some for Rylee, and then Rylee was just like, "Oh," and she like looks at me, and I was just, and then the dude looks at me, and he realizes like probably like, "Oh, it's kind of weird for me just to offer just the girl like some random crazy yogurt." And then he's like, "Hey, you want some too?" And I was like, "Okay." And then Rylee and I tried this random crazy yogurt, and it was chill. I felt a little loopy. No, I'm kidding. It was fine. We ended up buying one. It was like $6.
It was $11.
$11? I thought it was $6.
No.
Oh my god. Did we need to,
I ate some because you haven't ate.
Yeah, we need to finish it. I didn't eat any yet. But he basically tricked us into buying some. But
yeah, and he tricked me into buying the flavor I didn't want.
I know.
And literally kept saying, I want raspberry. He's like, blueberry's more delicious.
I
was like, I want raspberry, though. He's like, no, the blueberry, I swear.
I know.
Delicious. I was like, okay, just give me the blueberry. I'm done.
Bro, he would be funny. Rylee was saying, she's like, that would have been so funny to have on stream.
I was like, it's too much.
Speaking of having on stream, there's this one dude where we have a couple of smoke shops near us, right? But a lot of the smoke shops don't carry these filters that I like using. So I have to go to this one smoke shop that's like, 4 or 5 minutes away. And it's just like one tiny smoke shop that's in the cut somewhere. And every time I go in there, there's the same dude who's working there. And he's like fucking weird, dude.
Really?
Like, every time I go in there, I always have this thing. I'm like, that was like a weird ass fucking interaction. And then the last time I went in there, I had the same thing where I was like, bro, I need to stop by here on stream, like, and fuck with this dude, because he's fucking crazy. But like, let me tell you what happened on the last one, where he's like, he has an accent, like he's Russian or like Lithuanian or something. And I walk in there, and he's just like, always does this thing where he's just like, hello, how may I help you? Like, he does this like, when you go to a smoke shop, they're not like super enthusiastic. He's like hella enthusiastic.
He's
like
hella extra.
Like, how can I help you? What can I help you find today? And you're just like, oh
God,
can I have some?
that.
Yeah, I was like, can I have some filters or whatever it is? Then he's just like, yeah, here's the filters. Here's these. And then he's like, do you want a bag? And I was like, yeah, I want a bag. He's like, okay, that'll be $17 million. And I was just like, oh, I was like, what the hell? I was like, how much does the bag really cost? And he's just like, oh, I'm kidding, it's $1. I was like, okay, $1's chill. He's like, no, I'm kidding. He's like, it's free. And I was like, all right, for sure. And I forgot what else he said, but he kept like every little thing was just, oh wait, my price ended up being $13 in total. And he's like, oh, 13, such a good number. I love 13. Like, he's just like, he's like hella crazy and enthusiastic and like hella talkative. And I'm just
doing
like,
too much.
I'm just like, bruh, like,
good for him though, because I hated doing that shit at jobs.
I was like, I feel like this would be really funny to come in here on stream and just like, I feel like he would not go along with, but he would be like, he's gullible. Like, I feel like he'd be gullible enough, or he's just interested enough in having random conversations where if I walk in there with some crazy out of the ballpark story, like he'd just be like, huh, what? So I want to like troll him on stream one day.
Dude, when I worked at the coffee shop, Dutch Bros, that was their thing. Like, when you're at the window, you have to talk to the customer the whole time they're there.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you have to conversate with them, and I hated that. Like, I would like try my hardest to like speed everything up, and like my boss would like check me sometimes. She'd be like, Rylee, what are they doing this weekend? I'd be like, oh my god, I don't want to
hell
talk. No. Like, no, I hated it.
Even if it's like some like old man, you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want, like, some people don't want to talk. Like, some people are like not in a good mood, and like
yeah, exactly.
care.
Honestly, I feel like maybe just like an LA thing. Most people just want to go in and not talk and just like get their thing, get their item, and leave.
I'm not trying to talk like that. I mean, like, sometimes it's like fun, like, okay, like, I'm gonna go along with it because I know it's your job. But it's like, me personally, it's fine. Like, we don't have to talk like that.
It's kind of like, bro, like, it's, not that often that happens to me where, like, because I don't take Ubers that often, but sometimes when I take an Uber and the person just wants to keep talking, and I'm just like, bro, like,
please no.
I don't want to have a full in-depth conversation right now. I'm like, just chilling.
I just put my headphones on.
And just be like, huh? What?
I'll just be like, you have to take it out and be like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. Oh, okay. And then you put it back in. They're like, okay.
I'm not gonna bother them anymore. Unless they're really like, fuck it, I'm gonna
Extra.
continue. Yeah.
And most of the times they are. They don't care. A lot of times Ubers are like that. Where it's like if they want to talk to you, they're gonna talk to you, even if you're trying to avoid the conversation.
Yeah.
They don't stop.
I forgot what like.
It was when we went to Hawaii, like that morning. Like the person was trying to talk to us hella. Remember, he's like, "You guys must have hella money because you guys went
Oh yeah.
twice this."
Dude.
I was like, "No, we don't." Like he was like, guys must be rich, or
Bruh.
blah. Like he was like trying to shame us.
I know,
to
like yeah,
going.
I forgot about that, but like Rylee and I were taking an Uber to LAX on our last time we went to Hawaii for Riley's birthday, and the dude was just like, I thought he was asking for trip's sake, so he knows what to do better. He's like, "Where are you guys going?" And I was like, "We're going to LAX." She's like, "You know what, thing?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "We're going to Hawaii." He's like, "Oh, Hawaii, never been." I was just like, "Oh,
like, I can't afford that."
I'm
know.
like,
"Oh, I'm sorry."
And then he just like, he starts just like asking more and more questions of just like, "Oh, must be nice" type shit. I'm just like,
I'm
bruh,
just like, oh my god,
why are you asking all these questions? When you're just gonna be like, "Oh, must be nice" at the end? I'm like, dude, that's fucked up.
It was so anyway.
What do you have anything else, Rin?
I also saw that this is kind of crazy. I don't know if you saw this either, but Nick Cannon is creating his own new game show, and it's going to be on the E! Network called Who's Having My Baby? And it's like for him to find his next baby mama. And Kevin Hart's hosting it. And I thought it was like a gag, like a little skit or whatever, but no, it's like going to be really a thing.
Wow.
Where it's like, I don't know what it's going to be like, for if it's going to be for real or if it's just for fun, but it's just like, damn.
Who's signing up?
I don't know. There's contestants though.
What if someone signs
There's
up?
a whole trailer.
What if like someone signs up and they get to the very end and she's just like, I don't want to have a baby. The clout's cool though.
Isn't that crazy?
Damn, Nick Cannon's really playing
Nick
in on
Cannon
that.
doesn't care.
I know. He's always been dealing with like trolls and negative comments where I feel like he's like, "Oh, okay, people have been saying, I'm having babies with all these people." He's like, "Let's do this."
Yeah.
We're probably tuning in.
Definitely.
You know what we
have to watch it. We have to see what it's about. But it looks like it's just like kind of like a weekly kind of game show. Where it's not like a
like Flavor of Love.
Flavor of Love, where it's like
Yeah.
they're gonna have all these girls in a house, or like a Bachelor kind of thing where they're fighting for his love. I think it's gonna be like a game show
You know we didn't watch.
where they're like buzzing in answers and stuff.
Oh, okay. You know what we didn't watch recently is Cody Ko made another video about Milf Manor.
I know.
We didn't watch
need to
it
watch
yet.
it.
But bro, like at this point, guys, like we talked about this last time, the whole Milf Manor thing, where for anyone that doesn't know, it's about a bunch of Milfs who come in trying to find younger guys, right? But little do they know that the younger guys are actually each other's sons. You know what I mean? So they're all their sons are in on it dating the other Milfs. And it becomes this whole weird thing where
It's so weird.
it's like all this personal shit gets leaked, and then like at one point one of the Milfs admits that she fucked her son's best friend, and it seems like it's like a reality show where it should be fake, but this fool, like his reaction seemed very genuine, where he got like hella drunk and got naked and got in the pool and was just like fucking asking the producers like some deep ass questions. I was just, bro, it got too deep for me. I was just paused. I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, this seems like a little bit fucked up. Like their whole lives are being played with, and like what, just so these guys get to fuck them. They don't want to date, dude. They just want to fuck a MILF, and these MILFs just want to fuck a younger guy, and little do they know they have to do it to each other. It's like, it's weird.
It's literally like Love Island.
Yeah.
It's like that shit's still fucked up too.
Yo, Beans is chewing on a straw. Where'd he get the straw from?
God. Beans, come here.
Where'd he get it from?
I don't know.
Jesus, Beans. Where the hell? I don't even know where the hell this came from, but
Or any reality show, like the producers are there, like they're acting like they're your friend behind the scenes, but they're there to like antagonize you and like make you want to do some crazy shit. Like they're like feeding into you, like you should go do this.
they probably
Like you should do this. Like we were just talking about that about Love Island, where like two people were like making out, and like the girl that they were coupled up with like mysteriously walked into the room and like saw them making out. And, like, that obviously fucking hurts and fucks with your head.
But the producer probably told him, like,
they're like, go walk in that room right now.
But that's what I was kind of thinking as well. Now that you said that, is like, what if they told that MILF, that lady, they're like, like, yo, what's your juiciest secret? Like, oh, you fucked your son's friend. You should definitely say that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's.
He's gonna forgive you.
Yeah. No, it's just.
He'll get over it.
Yeah, it's reality
he loves
TV.
You. He's your son.
Do you want to win this or not? And be, you know.
He's gonna get over it.
Bruh. Oh my god.
It's sad.
I don't know how I would react to that. You know what that reminds me of? I'm not sure if I can pull it up right now because I forgot who posted it. I think it was either No Jumper, Academics, or Youainthardfoo. But I saw this post where it was like, this mom got locked up for having sex with her daughter's boyfriend 300 times. I was like, damn. That's
fuck no.
What the like? You can never trust your mom again.
Fuck that. Yeah,
what
exactly.
Do you do?
You're done. You're done.
That's such a shady mom thing to do.
That's the weirdest. That's weird. That's weirdo shit. You're a weirdo. You're a weirdo.
Bruh.
I don't care if you're my mom. You're weird.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be your daughter at that point. That's fucking weird. Ugh.
What do you?
Ew.
Like, how do you?
That's
solve
weird.
That? Yeah, exactly.
Ew.
And then I saw this other post. You saw the other thing where it was like a cafeteria school cafeteria lady was like having a relationship with like one of the kids, and then she said that he was feeling uncomfortable, so she told the parents like, hey, we've been having this relationship, whatever it is, dude. And
then there was a teacher of the year, a teacher that just won teacher of the year but got caught fucking one of her students for like hella long.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, there's been hella shit of this.
It's so weird because it's like maybe it's because of the schools I went to, but bruh, the schools I went to in elementary, coming from a guy's standards, there was no teacher that from a guy that you want to be with. There was no guy teachers that I feel like girls would want to do anything. It was just, and I never heard of that happening. Middle school, definitely did not hear that happening. Same thing there. And then also in high school, it was like there was just like one teacher that like it's like always funny because it's like sometimes you hear rumors of like guys tell you like, hey, you know that one teacher, she's totally into me. You're like, okay, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so I heard rumors of this one girl teacher like being into some like kids. Kids, but like the football team,
Oh my
but God. I was like, I don't know if they're just flexing or if she's really like that, but I don't know.
Did it ever come out?
No. That's why I'm like, when I hear these stories, I'm like, bro, my whole school career, I was like, I never heard of shit like that happening. And it always happens, like, I feel like in the middle of the country somewhere.
Oh, it happens. There's weirdos. There's definitely weirdos.
Someone said teachers are getting younger. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, too, right?
They are!
Is like, back in the day, I feel like, oh, that's the
My friends are teachers. Like, I have hella friends that are teachers.
Wait,
that have been teachers for, like, 2 years.
That's a really good point because, bro, like, that's the thing, though, is all my teachers were fucking old.
Yeah, like, and my friends
I feel
are
like
cute.
Teachers are probably younger now,
They're
right?
hot teachers.
But like, wait, what?
My friends.
Oh,
but they teach like elementary school, where it's like I feel like when we were in elementary school, our teachers are younger. Like I feel like my kindergarten teacher was really young.
Well,
but then when I guess not. Like they were kind of all older.
Bro, speaking of
once I got into like first.
Speaking of elementary teachers, I think I've told this story before, but I haven't said it in a long time. It's just such a random, crazy situation that happened in my life where I had this teacher named in first grade. She was my first grade teacher and second grade teacher. Her name was Mrs. Popova, and she had this like giant gap in between her teeth where like we would always, and she smoked hella cigarettes, where we always made jokes that she would like stuff the cigarettes in that gap and shit like that. But either way, I had her as a teacher for, like I said, for first and second grade for 2 years in a row. And at one point between first and second grade, that was the first time I visited Russia with my parents. We went to go visit Russia, right? And when you're visiting Russia, like we had to go to this one place to catch a train there, to catch a bus here. It was not like, oh, well, it's just a one-way trip, and we were not going to fucking Moscow. We're not going to the most popular place, right? And I remember one day we were like hopping on a plane to go to Russia, and as I'm like walking down the aisles of the plane, I look up and I see Mrs. Popova on the fucking airplane to go to Russia because she was Russian too, apparently. Yeah, she was. And I guess she was going to visit. And I was just like, oh, hey, Mrs. Popova.
Hey.
And dude, and then she goes like, oh, Yuriy, is your mom here? I'm like, yeah. And then she goes on to have like a fucking 30-minute discussion with my mom about how like I'm not doing good in school.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, bruh, I'm like, it's like summer vacation or like winter vacation. It was like summer vacation, like where I'm not even supposed to worry about this stuff. And like I'm like, bruh, now I run into her, and then she takes this opportunity to tell my mom and my dad like, oh, Yuri's not doing too well. I'm like, oh, what a bitch. I was like, I fucking hate her. She was the worst. But also, I just feel like I was such a like trouble child. Where like I don't know, like for me, school always was like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go to school to learn. It was like, oh, I'm going to go meet up with Tomic and Victor and fucking Anthony and Enrique, and we're gonna go fucking do this thing, and Ricardo. It's like my whole thing was like every day was just like, what am I gonna do with my homies? You know what I mean? It was just like a fucking play date almost every day.
My dad shoved education down my throat. He was just like, you have to go to college. Like, if you don't, you're a fucking loser.
My dad,
where it was just like, dude, like, I really had to, like, focus. Especially because he was a teacher at my school, where it's like, if I got caught up fucking around, like, it's my ass.
No, yeah. I think my dad always did that,
and my dad
too.
Was very strict, so. But
also, my dad was always, both my mom and dad were always kind of like that, too, but my mom was always just like Yuri's, like find something you really want to do. You know what I mean? Like, she always just like kind of told me that. Where like at first they were kind of telling me the whole typical be a doctor or a dentist or a lawyer or some shit like that, and I was just like, bruh, hell no, But then at a certain point, like my dad was still kind of pushing me to do more, like college stuff like that, and my mom was just like, Yuri, like, seems like you're not into this, so just like find something you really enjoy. And like, Luffy, you saw that?
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking on my chair. Either way. But was that all the topics that we had?
Yeah.
Yo, I want to say this is I feel like we were after Sloan, obviously, we were the first people in the No Jumper Circle to talk about the Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber thing. And at first,
Sloan is in No Jumper Circle?
No, well, I said before. Well, I guess you're right. He's not. But when we were talking about on Tent Talks last week, I was like, oh, I don't know, like, how people are going to feel about this topic.
Hated it.
No, I feel like, some people were, like, kind of confused by it, but, like, then it was talked about in the news, No Jumper News, No Jumper Post, and, like, bro, this is kind of, like, interesting big news where it's genuinely creepy, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost, like, how do you find yourself in think about from the perspective of Justin Bieber, where like, bro, he's in a relationship with his woman where now everyone hates her and they're telling him that like she's manipulated him to get in this relationship, and maybe he knows, he could see past the lies and he knows behind the scenes like what's really going on, but then also it's kind of crazy, like what the fuck she's going through. But then also Rylee showed me this other video where I didn't even know about this. People's publicists like do a really good job of like hiding negative things about celebrities, but Rylee showed me this whole video of Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber like being caught like buying drugs and like in East Hollywood and like their whole like drug escapades and all that stuff, and I was like, dude, I didn't know about any of this stuff.
Me either. I never seen any of those clips.
I've never seen anything tied to Selena Gomez about like that's why when she was on Spring Breakers, that was a shock to me.
I know, me too.
I was like, bro, Selena Gomez?
I know.
I was like,
when she's ripping the bong.
Oh, I didn't even watch it.
That was like the part that leaked out where it was like Selena Gomez ripping a bong, and it was like her like scene in Spring Breakers, and I was just like, like that's crazy to see, because it was like still like she pretty much just stopped filming on Disney like right after.
Oh, that's kind of true.
And so it was just like, damn.
But
I've never seen anything drug related tied to her. Like I've never.
And apparently everything's like still like alleged, because her publicist, she's never admitted to anything like that. But apparently she had like a best friend who she had like kidney problems, right, or liver problems.
Selena Gomez had kidney problems.
Yeah, Selena Gomez had kidney problems.
She has lupus, which is like a certain kind of like autoimmune disease, I believe.
Oh shit! But she had to get she had to get a piece of a kidney from her friend, and Rylee's telling me that they're not friends anymore. And Sloan, in the video Rylee showing me that Sloan made, was like, I guess her close circle is upset at Selena Gomez because they're like saying that after she got this crazy life-saving surgery, she was still like popping pills and like getting fucked up. And I'm like, bro, I've never seen this side of Selena in my life. I'm like, this sounds like fucking like a conspiracy theory. I'm like, I don't even believe this, This is crazy. She seems so innocent.
No, I have seen that they weren't friends anymore, but I didn't know why. And I haven't seen anything about her drug issue either, but somebody also said she went to rehab. which I also saw too.
But here's the thing.
But I thought it was just for her mental health.
No,
like,
that's
she
what
was depressed and
that's
stuff.
what Sloan said, is like she went to mental health thing, right, where she like I saw in the media and everything, everyone was saying that Selena is like taking a break from social media. She's going to a facility for mental health reasons, right? And Sloan was basically saying that like it's a cap. It's like they're saying it's mental health, but it's really for her drug abuse. So I was like, damn, that's crazy. I would have never suspected. But everyone's a person at the end of the day.
Exactly. You know? But no, like this video of like what Sloan had of Justin Bieber in Hollywood, it's like the craziest video ever, right? But like,
yeah, we have to show it to Duno. Duno's laughing it because he knows.
We should show it at the after.
He knows exactly what it is. Like anyone that knows anything about Hollywood or East Hollywood, like bro, there's and also Sloan. Where's he from originally?
I don't know.
He's
like in the Midwest, probably.
Yeah, he is not from California, right?
It's so funny.
He's especially not from LA. And bro, he was so shocked over the word swap meet. He's like, swap meat? Who calls a store that?
He's like, I keep wanting to call it swap meet.
And I'm like, bro, you obviously don't know what a swap meet is, because there's thousands of them everywhere. That's not like a store name, you know. He was kind of confused there. But the place that he was talking about is on I think he said Santa Monica and Western. And bro, like, I've been there before. I've been there many times before. You know what I mean? As a kid, even with my parents, like I would go fucking buy backpacks and fucking shoes there for school.
Right.
It's like they actually have stores there. And Sloan was just like, it's all a cover. They just sell drugs in the bathroom, and like it's all.
But it's weird that Justin Bieber and her were there with no security
exactly.
or anything. Like it was kind of sketch.
But also in the photos,
like what are they getting there?
No, but also in the photos they were showing is like they're on these bikes, like on this date. You know what I mean? That just seems like some cool little like bike around, stop by the store.
Let's get some little parky.
No, he had to pee.
He had to pee there at that sketch ass place.
Would you rather see Justin Bieber peeing in an alley or peeing in a swamp?
Where MS was.
Bro, that's the other crazy part, is like the video that got leaked was this guy who was filming it, and he was like, damn fool, this is Justin Bieber.
He's like, oh my god, it's Justin Bieber. Hey Justin.
Yeah, and
I fuck with you.
And then he starts
it's
like
not really.
And then he starts repping his gang, which is like a very fucking famous, dangerous gang from LA. And I was like, bro, I'm like, Justin Bieber has to get out of there, bro. Like, he has to run, dude. Like, he's lucky that guy didn't get him set up or robbed.
That's what I'm saying. Well, he was telling people down the street.
He was telling everyone, and no one cared.
Like, really. No, everybody's like, what? Who?
He was like, yo, it's Justin Bieber. Yo, it's Justin Bieber. Everyone's just like sitting there, like, huh? But yeah, bro, I was like shocked by that whole thing. I'm kind of like, I'm not super shocked, I guess, because, like, you know, a lot of celebrities go through that type of stuff. But also with Justin Bieber, I didn't really know about, you know, like, I knew about the lean thing. That's the biggest thing I knew about, was, like, I guess he got caught doing lean.
He was hella off drugs.
And they were saying that it's because of Justin Bieber that activists went out of business. Or they closed. They didn't go out of business. They themselves said that they're closing their shop down. And people still say it's, like, Justin Bieber's fault for flexing the activist model. But either way, I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
That was all the topics there. Guys, I think we're going to wrap up this episode of Tent Talks right here. Like always, we're going to do an after show immediately after, like in 5-10 minutes. We're going to end the stream and then start a new stream where we can actually read all the super chats that came in during the podcast, and then interact with you guys and read any other super chats. But either way, appreciate you guys so much. If you guys can, please leave a like.
Leave a comment.
Yes, leave a comment saying anything you
For
guys
the
want.
algae.
Yeah, literally any comment will help. You can say beans is an L, you know, something
Don't
cool
say
like that.
Something cool like that.
I'm joking. And then also definitely do not forget to subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already. But we'll see you guys for the after show in like 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes.
Peace.
First I said 5-10, now 10-20. I don't know. I think I might want to eat something really quick before we do the after show. But either way, thank you guys. Like, comment.